Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be replacing another interior part on this BMW E63. Now again, this is a common problem on these BMWs, and this part is always likely to fade because it's the main part. Obviously you're always touching, people touch it when they're eating with greasy hands, and it just ends up fading apart. So we're going to go ahead and replace this in the interior, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now this isn't the first video of me doing this. I actually did this on my M5 as well. Most of the BMWs I always need this replaced. And again, it drives my OCD mad. Now I actually paid £130 for this specific part just to pull it on this car to tidy it up, because that's gonna make this whole car look a lot tidier than what it does already. So let's get onto the video and let's get removing this part.
Goddamn, get it done, will ya? When the blow up now, everybody's so unusual with it. Shit. But said times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you know.
Okay guys, so what we're gonna go ahead and do first is just remove the battery on this car. So we're gonna take off the battery cable, so we know we don't end up with any kind of damage, just like that. And that's removed. Now to be safe, I am gonna disconnect the ground one as well, because the ground one is the one you can make sure ain't gonna touch anywhere. I'll move it here. Just remember not to shut your boot, otherwise you will not be able to open it because the battery is disconnected, so make sure you leave your boot open. So guys, this is the part we're gonna be replacing today. As you can see on this one is very, very faded. It's got scratches everywhere, very worn out, and that's something I just do not like. Luckily the steering wheel's in good condition, so is the airbag. So it's not like my M5 where the airbag was completely destroyed as well with the badge. This one was brand new from BMW with all the multifunction buttons as well. This was £130 for the whole thing. So it's actually really, really cheap. Brand new part. You can see there, literally we've not got a mark on it. And we're gonna be putting it on this car, just taking this one off and getting this one on. And that's already gonna make a lot of change. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do first is we're gonna need a flathead screwdriver, and we're gonna put it down the bottom here, which the hole is right there underneath. And you can just see if you push the screwdriver, you can just remove the airbag. You just press the spring up and it will release the airbag. So we're just gonna press this clip right inside the steering wheel and it will just release the airbag just like that. So if you can see here as well, we've got a load of Torx bolts that are inside here that holds the whole multifunction piece and the trim to the actual steering wheel. So we're gonna unbolt them. I believe they're a Torx 25. So we'll just take out the two Torx 25s and remove them. Then we're gonna disconnect the connectors from the multifunction buttons itself, and then it should all come out. So these are actually a Torx 20 we're going to be using, and we're going to just remove these Torx screws there. Do remember, when you put these back, these are not tight, so do not tighten them down too tight as you'll break the plastic. We'll just put them there so we don't lose them. Now this should all come out together with the trim as well, just like that. And you just pull it out and it's actually clipped in by two clips, and then that's the connector I was on about for the multifunction buttons. We've got the other one right here. Just take that one out, and that's your trim straight off on the car. Now you want to get your new one, you want to connect it back in. You just put your connector back in there, and just like that. Then you want to get this aligned properly, which you should easily be able to get aligned because you've got the lining points right here, and just press it onto the steering wheel, just like that. Make sure it's all down before you tighten it, and in line perfectly. Everything's clipped in. Then we're going to put our screws back in. As I said, be careful not to tighten these down too tight because they will crack the plastic. And we'll just hand tighten the other one, just give it a little turn, just like that. And that's your new steering wheel trim on. Now we'll just reconnect the airbag. Very, very simple. You've got your airbag connectors right there. Make sure they're all in before you reconnect the airbag. And then what you do is you just want to reconnect this up, just like this, just like that. Put your airbag the correct way. Make sure your wiring harness is out of the way before you push it back in. And then all you do is just clip it back in just like that, and that's your steering wheel trim all in. And look how much nicer that now looks, guys, with the brand new trim compared to this old one. And you can see it much more clearly now how old and rugged this one looks. This is why I was not happy with that, and I know there's probably a lot of you driving around with one like this because obviously you probably can't afford to obviously replace it. And that's down to you, obviously. If you can't afford it, at some point you probably will, so that's not a problem. But when you can, I would upgrade it because it does really because it does tidy up the car and makes it look a lot newer than what it actually was. So if you do have the money, it is well worth investing in a new trim and new multifunction buttons, just so your car don't look like that. This one was very badly worn. Even some of yours might not be that bad, but you can see what I mean. When you eat in the car and you're touching it and everything else, it does end up fading like that. My M51 was exactly the same. My black E60 was exactly the same as well. Okay guys, so as you've seen now, I've now replaced the steering wheel trim on this BMW E63. Now, many of you are going to say to me, was that really necessary? Yes, it was for this car. Is it necessary for any car that doesn't have it like this? No, it ain't. But this was completely damaged, as you can see here, all faded and whatever else. And like I say, I don't think it was my friend. I just think it was the last two owners, my friend and the woman beforehand, that made it like this. He probably bought it like this. Not a lot of people do care about things like this. They just get in the car and drive it. But for me, this is a big put off, and obviously, as I said to you guys, I'm very OCD about things like this. So for me, it's money well invested, because then I can drive the car knowing everything's fresh and new, especially after giving it a good cleaning, cycling all the steering wheel down, all the stalks, clearing everything off that where people touch with their hands everywhere else. Once I gave the car a thorough clean, everything's going to look so nice and new, and that's why I want to add these new parts to it also. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and if you do want to buy this part, obviously many of you guys know where to locate it. It is just a BMW E60 steering wheel trim. That's all you have to put in, and you'll probably find it with the buttons or just this bottom piece alone. If you do need it, I think this bottom piece is about 60 quid, and this part is probably about another 60 quid in total. And there you have it, guys. So thank you very much for watching. It's BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.